Today's topic is the best 6 baseballs in ballpark. Your opinion.
That was almost a great slip, Woody. I said 6 ballparks. What? There was one? Yeah,
This is
best
yours.
MLB ballparks. They asked me about this. Coors Field.
Is this mine or his?
This would be, is this Woody's or mine?
Because I started with Coors Field as number 6 too.
I think that's yours then.
Okay, it's mine. All right, Coors Field. I was not even going to put it in the top 6. So that was kind of a homer pick, because I think there are places in Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and other places around the league that have, they've always they almost have become cookie cutter, like that new retro kind of ballpark. But pick Coors Field. I think the party deck, which I make fun of, and all the stuff, was a nice addition. And Coors has been good for Denver because it created Lodo. And Lodo's been a great place. So I picked Coors Field number 6. Number 5, Yankee Stadium. I don't like it as much as I liked old Yankee Stadium, but it still has that aura, as I said earlier, like Augusta, that it's the new Yankee Stadium. Well, Augusta is not the same golf course it once was. Yankee Stadium's new, but they recreated Yankee Stadium. Number 4, Wrigley Field, and that's with a caveat. It's with an asterisk, because what they have now is crap. And it's going to be crap for now 4 seasons.
Yeah,
and putting tarp over girders and restrooms not working, and they have taken, think of a famous actress, one of the most famous actresses in the world. No, she wasn't a famous actress, she was an actress. She was on a show with lifeguards. She's had so much cosmetic surgery, her ears touch in the back, and her breasts have gone from here to here to here, all over the place. That's what Wrigley Field is. It's Pamela Anderson. Number 3, you're looking at me at some of my stuff today. Camden Yards. That was the original retro, and it still is. It actually was built into a neighborhood with a train building out there, and it's got the old Sluggers barbecue out in right field, and it's right downtown, and it's right down the street from Babe Ruth's birthplace. Camden Yards for me. Number 2, Fenway Park. There's something. Fenway Park has done it right. They've still maintained it. It's not a piece of crap like Wrigley Field's kind of turned into. And Fenway Park's in a neighborhood, and you were there during the World Series, and you've been there 100 times, that it still has that uniqueness and that left field wall. There's nothing like it. Except, why would I say number 1? Because nobody's going to agree. You're not going to agree with me. Number 1 is Dodger Stadium. It was the first of the new modern parks. Now it's an old park. It is the new standard of old parks, because it's the oldest park that's not an old park. And I just love sitting in Chavez Ravine, eating a Dodger dog and hearing that announcer and looking out over the fog and the smog, that seems to me like baseball out of the 60s and 70s, and that seems more retro to me than the retro parks. So that's my top 6.
I like it, Woody.
Now we have Troy's pick 6.
It's not that dissimilar. Mine are based on the working conditions too. I'm not going to lie. Camden Yards is fantastic. It's like you said. It's Coors Field before Coors Field. Has the lowest press box in MLB. You feel like you're in the batter's box. And it's still an open press box. I caught a foul ball there 2 years ago. Nearly took out my computer. I caught it on the hop, not in the air, and I gave it to a little girl that was sitting in front of us, so I didn't keep it. But Camden Yards, fantastic. Also, Camden Yards, they put little commemorative coins like in the pavement outside of where home runs are hit. So you can go find out where all the home runs were hit in Camden Yards. Fantastic. We'll go to number 5. Dodger Stadium, Woody, for the same reasons you love it. It reminds you like a Mad Men episode. I mean, the 60s, 70s culture, and it's not so 1920s like Fenway or Wrigley, but it has held the course of time. It is beautiful ballpark. The setting, the press box isn't the greatest, and the wireless there is traditionally the worst in baseball. That anyone
People care
cares.
about
I'm
that.
just letting you know.
But
that.
the parking, where it comes in at different levels.
Parking
I
at
like
different
that.
levels. It's a fantastic view, and I love walking out at night and looking down at the city. And I've seen some of the quickest games in my life at Dodger Stadium because the Rockies rarely score there. PNC Park. I remember when Twitter was first out, and I tweeted, Pittsburgh had a skyline. Who knew? And it is beautiful. These two bridges, and oh my word. The problem with Pittsburgh is that they forgot the press box when they built it. And so I remember a Boston writer walked in there, one of the first series ever played there. He got to the press box and looked up and said, this press box has FU written all over it. Because they forgot it. It's literally on the light standards. Beautiful park. Wrigley Field, for all the reasons you said. When I first covered a game there, I think it was 02, my first year at the Post, 02. Walking onto that field, that was when it still had the crown field. So if you were on one side of the field, you could just see the heads of people at the other dugout. Yeah. Old school Wrigley, I could feel the echoes. And Rookie of the Year is one of my kids' favorite shows. Great thing. Fenway Park, it looks like the guy was on acid that designed it. I mean, it juts out. There's a garage in center field. You're going to truck coming out. You got this huge wall. Yeah. I mean, whoever designed it's crazy. But it still has this old school ambiance, even though they created seats on top of the rig. You think, oh, they can't pull this off. They do, and it's in such a small, tight space. You can't imagine how crowded it is at Fenway Park. Favorite game I've ever covered in the playoffs was the Don Zimmer when it was Fenway Punk, when Pedro Martinez got into it with Don Zimmer. They cut off alcohol sales in the, second inning? That was the only time I've ever been in a Major League Park where I was scared that a riot was going to break out.
Don Zimmer was the manager there. He told me 1,000 stories when he was third base coach here, but he said a guy threw a shoe at him. And so he went over, and because of the tightness, as you said, the fans are right up on top of him. So he walks over, he leans over, and the guy thinks he's going to yell something. He said, throw the other one so I'll have a new pair of shoes.
Give me the other. And I went into the wall the last time the Rockies were there. One of my all-time favorite memories. AT&T Park, I apologize, Rocky fans, because they hate the Giants. I understand. But that view of the bay, and from the press box, it's one of the last press boxes. It's essentially about 100 feet from home plate. And they have wonderful garlic fries. The food there is amazing. The crowd, I mean, again, this part is the timing. Since they opened that park, they've been a great team for the most part, a dynasty now. The crowd's electric. It's 40,000. I mean, Tim Lincecum pitching at AT&T Park was an event for 2-3 years. And the energy, it was like covering a playoff game in April. So AT&T Park, Coors Field is a great place to work, great. But AT&T Park, because of the water and because of the team, they were so good during that last 5-7 years. I would say they're number one for me.
And the ball going into the bay, and the fact that they moved from, you have to put a little caveat there of moving from Candlestick Park into the city.
Exactly. What a move. What a smart move.
Oh, great. Oh, see, and I left AT&T out. I haven't been there.
You would love it. You would absolutely love it.
I've driven by it going to Raiders games and 49ers games, but I haven't been in there, so I couldn't really judge it that well. I don't think it's a great place for a bowl game, though.